This is Anker's brand new power station, the 535. Now if you think this looks familiar, you might be right because a few months ago I showed you their model 521. Now when you put them side by side they look identical, except this 535 is quite a bit bigger, and that's because this is a 500 watt power station. But one thing they kept the same is the batteries inside. Now what made that first one so popular is that it used lithium iron phosphate batteries. Now lithium iron phosphate is going to last a lot longer than lithium ion. Just like that 521, this display is bright, you can read it in the sunlight, and it's also a smart display. It's not just going to tell you the battery percentage, it calculates how long you can run the battery for, or if you're charging this thing up, it's going to tell you how soon the battery will be fully charged. Now one feature this thing doesn't have, it has no kind of app to run the device. Now some people will love that and others might hate it, but they do have some pretty cool features built right in. They've got this power saving switch, and all you have to do is flip this, and that's going to make it so if the AC outlets aren't drawing any electricity, they're going to shut the unit off automatically. Now that's just going to mean that your battery in the device could last a lot longer. They've also given you a good selection of ports. You've got 4 AC outlets that are capable of up to 500 watts combined, along with 3 USB-A outlets, and a bidirectional USB-C outlet that's rated at 60 watts. It's also got a good design. They've got the top mounted handle, it's easy to carry, and it weighs just under 18 pounds. I also used my analyzer to confirm that this thing is in fact putting out pure sine wave power, and that just means clean electricity for any kind of sensitive electronics, computers, or even TVs. But I also wanted to make sure that this thing could actually output what they state, so I tried small heaters, small appliances, and all of those things work just fine. They also have a nice built-in light. Now they had this on the 521 also. You just push the button to turn it on, push it again to turn it off, and it does have a warning mode as well if you hold the button in. Now in terms of recharging this thing, you've got a few different options. The first is, this is a solar capable unit, so you can plug any type of solar panel into it that meets this device's specifications. Now all solar panels are not the same, and currently Anker doesn't make their own, so you want to look at my specs in the description so that you're getting the correct solar panel that will work with this. Many people will just want to plug this thing right into the wall. Now you can do that using the included AC adapter, and if this thing started at 0%, you could charge it all the way up in just about 5.5 hours. But you can also use the car charging cord. Just plugs right into that same port in the back, and you could charge it up while you're driving in about 8 hours. You can charge this 535 another way. You can use the USB-C port in the front of the device. Now it's fully bi-directional. That just means you can charge up a laptop or a notebook, but you can also use that same port to feed power into the 535. And if you just use the USB-C alone, it takes about 6 hours to charge this fully up. But you can also combine the AC adapter and the USB-C together and charge it in 2.4 hours. Finally, the last way you can use power is the built-in cigarette plug in the front of the device. This is fully regulated, and this allows you to use anything you might have already been using in your car. I get a lot of comments asking, what can you actually do with one of these power stations? Well, this thing outputs 500 watts, so it's not going to be good for anything like a large heater or a microwave, but it's ideal for charging things like laptops, cell phones, and in many cases you can do that multiple times. And AC things are fine too. You could run a CPAP device for about 9 hours, a small refrigerator for between 5 and 7, and it can do smaller things than an appliance that might be like a mini blender. Those are going to be ideal, but you want to make sure that they're under 500 watts. But now for the biggest question, is this thing a good deal? Well, the selling price is $499, and that's exactly the same price as the Jackery 500. Now that Jackery has been a great unit, but unfortunately it's using the lithium ion batteries. So with the Anker's lithium iron phosphate batteries, you should expect this one to last a lot longer, and it should be noted that you can charge the Anker in about half the time of the Jackery. And I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're not already for more videos coming up.